Iceman album.
Yeah, I just wanna be free.
Drake, Iceman, Maid of Honour, and Habibti album.
Midnight, May 15th, 2026. While most people were asleep, Drake flooded every streaming platform on Earth with 3 albums at once. Iceman, Habibti, Maid of Honour, 41 songs, no warning, no announcement, just music everywhere. By morning, he was the most streamed artist in a single day for all of 2026. The opening track, Make Them Cry, broke the record for most streamed song in a single day. But to understand why this hit the way it did, you need to remember where Drake was just a year before this.
JEJE.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to JEJE Vibe.
We're back again.
You know I got my amazing, beautiful queen with me.
Thanks, my love. The amazing host.
If you're new to the channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit the like and subscribe. And also hype the video if you do have the option. That's what YouTube told you to do. So let's get this video started. We gotta talk about Drake.
They call me Drizzy Drake and I'm keeping the name.
Yeah, he's I don't want to say new album now because he released 3 albums.
The Iceman album.
Yeah, I just wanna be free.
There's been a whole lot of talk about this album.
And we actually listened to the 3 albums now.
We listened to all 3. And Drake wasn't playing at all.
No, they weren't bad albums.
There are mixed reaction out there. Everybody's saying, oh, it's good. But man.
I will pick these ones over the SSS for you. These are more grown albums.
Facts.
My social battery is drained. For real, for real.
Drake is now making grown man or grown people's music.
I think within the short period of time, he worked on himself.
Facts.
What died back in 2024 was a big piece. So it's like the shit is me, but it isn't me.
It's been 2 years since the beef between him and Kendrick.
I don't give a fuck if you love me. I don't give a fuck if you like me.
And he did listen to some criticism now.
Asking me how did it feel.
And he took it upon himself to make changes.
Which weren't bad.
At all.
Hey, let's go. What did I miss?
It wasn't a bad album. It was a beautiful body of work.
It wasn't bad, I'll say.
Compared to recent albums that we've been hearing from the likes of J. Cole, Kanye West, Baby King.
Yeah, I wouldn't even still call it a beautiful album now, but I would say they're not bad albums.
Not bad.
Drake, I love the album, man. Well, I mean, you're kind of genius.
One thing about Drake's classics album is that you tend to like it over time. When you keep getting to understand or getting to vibe with it, you tend to like it.
I beg to differ, but hey, we'll leave that for another day. What I would say is that the Drake with the melodies is back.
Facts.
I need compliments cause lately it's just falling outs and disagreements. Industry is really evil.
I got some songs that I like on the album, the Iceman album.
And then some were just eh.
And some were just there. I like the Janice one, STFU.
Beep, beep, baby. And my shit came with the heat seats, baby.
That's a catchy vibing song.
My favorite now is Too Hard for the Radio.
Too Hard for the Radio.
Now too hard for the fucking radio.
It's too hard for the radio.
It's also too hard for the radio.
That's my favorite.
Because there's the debate right now going on in LA.
the Too Hard for the Radio is controversial because on one side, I've gotten that he's intentionally trying to drive a wedge between LA and the Bay. I don't buy that. I don't subscribe to that. The Bay and LA, we fuck with each other. I'm not contributing to that conversation or narrative that there's going to be like you're not going to do that with me or my platform.
Wait, what you're saying? You don't believe that he's doing it, or you're saying it's impossible to happen? Nothing's
impossible. I'm not participating in that though. In that narrative of like yeah, well, the LA shouldn't support that song because it's him. It's like no, nigga. If the niggas want to hear the records, play the records. I don't like it. Don't whatever. Cool.
It's the debate right now going on in LA about people saying, or DJs saying, should we play it because it has that West Coast bop
to it, and then playing it now might offend some people. Considering the whole beef associated with Drake and Kendrick now, but then again, the title of the song is Too Hard for the Radio.
Too hard for the fucking radio.
For the DJs, I'll say this. For the DJs who feel conflicted, if you go to djhead.com, I have an edit of Too Hard for the Radio that you can play without disses in it. It's just a DJ Head edit that you can play free of charge. You can download it. Go to DJ.
What did you remove?
Well, he said something about mustard.
Must have heard about us, gotta catch up to the slaps. Yeah, had once as me and YG rap.
He said something about I forgot. It was like a couple things he said. I don't remember the bars, but I just remember it was like some little slick shit that he said. So those things have been removed, and you can play the DJ Head version free and clear with guilt free.
It's too hard for the radio that the radio is debating if they should play it
or not.
It's becoming a debate.
Too hard for the radio.
Okay, first of all, I think that people trip off the wrong shit.
Right.
I have no problem with the biggest rapper in the world giving my Cuddy props. And we are the legacy. I am the legacy. We are the legacy. So if the legacy don't got a problem with it, motherfucker, why do you? I believe that Drake loves Mac Dre, but I also believe that he know how important Mac Dre is. And he's going against LA.
All right. Look, listen up. It's about to be smoke.
But was it a debate when Not Like Us was playing in the radio? I guess we can make it a case that, okay, those people in Toronto were not happy about the Not Like Us record.
Yeah, because it was several shots thrown at Drake now. So now when the coin has flipped now, are you still not going to play it for the radio?
It's too hard for the radio.
Too hard for the fucking radio.
The talk is on. Some are saying that Too Hard for the Radio is Drake biting or trying to copy the West Coast flow. But this is him paying homage to Mac Dre.
It ain't nothing but some shit I wrote about a young brother deep in the game. They call me Mac Dre and I'm keeping the name.
Mac Dre, who inspired him to start rapping, according to him, because he talked to Mac Dre's mom, and he told her about his inspiration when it comes to getting into rap.
One Sunday, I was laying on the couch watching TV, and I got a phone call, and somebody said, and I forgot who it was that contacted me. I think it was Molly Mall, and he said, Drake wants to talk to you. And I was like, Drake? This is a prank call. Why are you guys? I'm taking a nap. Why are you guys bothering me?
Yeah.
You know. And then he said, for real, Drake wants to talk to you. And I said, okay, put him on the phone. So Drake gets on the phone and says hello and introduces himself. And he said, I'm in San Francisco and I'm working on a video. And he said, I'd like to meet you. And I was like, really? Okay. All right. And so he gave me the information where he was, and I hung up the phone, and I thought, damn, I got to get up.
Yo, it'd be real like that, them naps.
I got to get up and go to San Francisco because, you know, my head still wasn't in the game. So I called a couple of people and I said, okay, I just got a phone call from Drake and he's in the city and he wants me to come. And everybody's like, nah. And I said, no, for real, really. And so I called a girlfriend of mine because nobody really believed it. So I called a girlfriend of mine from work and we got in the car and we drove to the city and went to to a hotel in San Francisco. I forgot the name of the hotel. And so we pull up, the two of us just pull up, at the hotel, and all these people come outside, this entourage of people, and they shuffle me up the elevator and as if I'm like somebody important, and I'm in the elevator and I go up and there's Drake, just like praying hands and hugging and we embraced, and when we embraced, we hugged, it was like we had known each other forever.
Yeah.
It was just the weirdest feeling. Drake is just this really, I don't know how to describe it, but this really passionate, kind of nice, very nice young man. And then he started telling me the story. He sat me down on the couch. He just started talking to me about when he was 12, 13, 14. He said the only rap he listened to was Mac Dre because that was in Canada. That was all they could get a hold of. And then he started explaining to me how that inspired him to be himself and to do, what he felt like he wanted to do with rap music.
Yeah, and then some people were saying that he was similar to Kendrick when it comes to, I guess, some of his flow.
Too hard for the radio.
I guarantee anybody that's hating on Drake, if he offered the opportunity to get on that remix, nigga, everybody and their mama will jump on that.
Is Drake paying homage to the Bay, or do people just hate when he just touch other people's culture?
They made it easy to hate Drake, and it's unfortunate because you got to look at the behind the scenes to that record. Drake mom get paid, the estate get paid, the legacy gets expanded, the fans get a chance to do some history and some research to get aware of who Mac Dre is. He reaches platforms that he may have never reached before. It's a win-win for the whole existence of who Mac Dre is.
The debate is on when it comes to Iceman.
And we can see the videography associated with it too. You can see that the body of work was just, let's get it out there quickly, because most of them were like one scenery video and they were not bad.
Not bad at all.
No.
Not bad.
Ice. Manish on the beach, shebang. All of my ops, they dead.
From what we're seeing right now, it's like Drake is fulfilling his contract with UMG.
And he's trying to get his work out there quickly.
Most of the songs have like a video to it, a visual to it.
They have the visuals, even though they're one scenery, but you could see the creativeness when it comes to the digitalness of it and camera angles.
Facts.
In the corner, just me and my back. I'm used to this, I'm known to that. I know I just gotta adapt.
The boy has been working. I would say that he's been putting a lot of work when it comes to the project. 43 songs.
That's a lot in a short period of time.
Habibti had 11 songs. Iceman had 18 songs. Maid of Honour had 14 songs.
And then also having videos associated with most of it now. That's a lot of work in a short period of time.
If I get my everything, would that be enough for you?
So he gets my commendment associated with those.
So shout out to Drake. The boy has delivered. He has given us a good album. Like my queen said, it's not a beautiful album.
It's not.
But it's a good album.
It is good. You can listen to it. I mean, I can listen to it now. SSS for you was too childish for me.
Yeah.
You don't know how hard it is writing these songs.
So now let's talk about everything that has transpired when it comes to the beef Kendrick.
Fuck a big three anyway. There was too many chefs in the kitchen. It was a mess to begin with.
Like we all know, Kendrick dropped a nuclear. Crazy.
Not like what was a hit.
It was a hit.
I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like
2024 was brutal for him. Kendrick Lamar released Not Like Us, one of the most devastating diss tracks in rap history. It won Grammys. Kendrick performed it at the Super Bowl in front of 130 million people. Drake fired back, but the public had already made up their mind. Then he sued his own label, Universal Music Group, claiming they pushed Kendrick's track. The lawsuit got dismissed, and in the court filing, Universal wrote that Drake had lost a rap battle that he provoked. His own label said that. For the first time in over a decade, people were genuinely asking, is Drake finished?
But there are talks right now that Not Like Us was like
butted, just like Drake was also butted in the past by the Spotify.
Oh.
I tried and tried and tried to the R switch place with the I.
There's a bot machine in the music industry that we keep hearing over and over again.
Yep. And it's not looking good.
It's looking like the numbers are being faked.
And karma has been on my side, but I also just heard that she's blind.
And it's looking like UMG, according to Drake, was helping Kendrick push that song, Not Like Us.
I guess he wasn't wrong after all in his lawsuit.
The lawsuit I got is fried to the R switch place with the I.
Considering the fact that even associated with T2, you could see how, I guess, the Not Like Us was deleted and then re-uploaded again.
Very true.
And I act like we signing a deal when they pay me for wasting my time.
It got really weird out here in the Apple Music and YouTube streets, because we are like 3 days away from Drake's Iceman album, and then all of a sudden Kendrick Lamar's GNX album disappears off of Apple Music. So the GNX album is literally deleted off of Apple Music and Tidal, but you could still listen to it on Spotify. And then at the same time, you have the Not Like Us video that was taken down from YouTube at over 400 million views. And then you have the Luther video that was taken down from YouTube, right? And the Euphoria song, you couldn't listen to it on streaming as well. Now, when the YouTube videos were taken down, there was another Not Like Us video that was posted back to Kendrick Lamar's YouTube page, but it was a brand new video. So like the views and everything had started fresh. And then eventually they got the original videos for Luther and Not Like Us back up on YouTube.
We were like, well, what happened? But nobody's giving us a concrete reason why it was deleted and uploaded again.
Close to when Drake had his album release.
Why was that? But after it got deleted and added again, it was now reverted back to the same
numbers, I guess.
Numbers.
But hey, platforms can do their trickery now just to cover their asses. But hey, we'll leave it at that.
YouTube, what are you doing?
You said it. YouTube is shitty these days. Yeah, they've been censoring people.
We just got to ask the question. We're not saying you did anything. We're just asking what's going on.
If you're a platform that you're hosting so many different people now, you shouldn't be taking sides or be doing some kind of shady works and dealings and trickeries associated with it. If not, it only goes one way.
Facts. Only goes one way. So, Iceman has been the talk of the town. Drake is gearing up for the world tour, because there's going to be a world tour when it comes to this. And it's going I must say that from what I'm hearing and from what I've seen so far when it comes to what he put out, he's done a lot of self-reflection. And
yeah, he has.
And he's like, he was taking shots at everybody.
He was.
Hey, Janice, shut the fuck up.
Me, baby.
Hey man, who in the heck is Janice and why does Drake want him to shut the up? Now, as Drake's song Janice STFU goes #1 on the Billboard, this song has now prompted a lot of people to go research on who exactly is Janice. Now, people have theories about who exactly was being dissed. We all know Jay-Z was being dissed with the line, "The jig is up."
We know how you OGs rocking already, my nigga. The jig is up.
But some fans also felt like Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole were also being dissed. Kendrick Lamar has an old song called "The Jig Is Up" that was produced by Cole. That's why he follows it up with "You boys got big off my name. That's big enough."
You boys got big on my name. That's big enough.
Now, the latest theory in this Janice STFU song is that this was actually a Joe Budden diss. Now, Drake already dissed Joe on Make 'Em Remember. Now, somebody used an old Joe Budden podcast episode to put a clip together on why they feel like Drake was dissing Joe on Janice STFU. Here it is.
What's your white woman name? They gave me mine. It's Janice. I'ma tell you.
Yo, you niggas is
shut
crazy.
the fuck up.
Now, this is also why people feel like Janice STFU might just be a Joe Budden diss song. Drake says, "Buried alive, somebody come dig me up."
Buried alive, someone come dig me up.
You guys remember, Joe actually called Drake a corpse.
Drake, don't shoot at me now that you ice cold. I'm not doing a back and forth with a corpse.
If I call on your shorty right now, she picking up.
If I call up your shorty right now, she picking up.
These guys have at least 10 bubble-shaped things in common. And then you got the line, "These boys got big off my name. That's big enough." The Joe Budden podcast essentially took off and went viral after Joe Budden's views rant on Drake.
BB baby. That's great. My Mercedes got the heat seats, baby. Nah, that shit is fire. That shit is hard. That shit is hard. I'm making a hit.
I'm dissing off.
And I'm talking to y'all.
Yeah.
This is it.
And Joe Budden was right. Janice STFU is officially the #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100.
Verse 1 Hove, verse 2 Kendrick. This song and the performance of it, yeah, one of the most important songs on here.
But it turns out Joe was wrong. It's not just a diss track towards Jay-Z and Kendrick. The Janice name, Janice STFU, actually comes from this clip.
What's your white woman name? They gave me mine. It's Janice. I'ma tell you.
Yo, you niggas is
shut
crazy.
the fuck up.
And the fact that the album was named Iceman comes from
Drake,
this.
don't shoot at me now that you ice cold. I'm not doing a back and forth with a corpse.
Joe actually addressed it, and while he didn't seem to be super convinced, Joe is taking credit for being dissed on the record. Here's what he said.
Someone did some digging.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had time.
But who did the digging is what's going to help me figure it out. Was it the OVO people? Was it Joe
Podcast
Budden people,
fans, yeah.
podcast people?
Janice Budden podcast.
Who has this just in it? But anyway, they pulled up a whole clip of when Ice and Ish first got here and we was all talking shit. And if I remember right, the context of the conversation was when I want to be a Karen.
Okay.
Sometimes being a Karen is all right.
Yeah.
So what is my white woman name? Like, what am I calling it when I'm doing it?
Okay.
And I said mine was Janice.
Damn, how many more interviews y'all gonna do just to get Ice to chill? Damn.
The Iceman was more of him trying to vindicate himself from the allegations of Kendrick's music now.
Yeah.
A minor.
You put that jacket on anybody, your funeral bound. But like the goalposts, I'm out here just moving around.
That's crazy. That's a crazy jacket to wear. Someone.
Yep, considering of their own shenanigans that we've been hearing lately associated with Kendrick's record label now.
These new TDE allegations are fucking horrific. This is terrible. There's an artist on the TDE called Alameda. She's dead center in the middle of all these allegations. Now, Alameda signed a TDE about 5 years ago, and Alameda and two of her friends will essentially be taken through hell by TDE, according to the allegations. Surprisingly, Alameda is still signed to TDE, which would explain a lot of the recent developments in this case. Linda on the left was brought in by TDE to manage Alameda, help her with her career, give her various looks. Linda is currently working with Jello Ball, and she helped Jello Ball get a deal So she's an industry fixer. She's one of those people who's well connected in the industry, and she was brought in to help Alameda. Aya is Alameda's childhood friend who came along with Alameda, lived in the TDE house with Alameda when she moved in and got signed to TDE. So Aya was essentially doing work with Alameda, but she was also just part of the entourage. Now, both these women have filed active lawsuits against TDE.
Kendrick promotion, the head of his promotion or the head of his tour, it's in the Epstein files.
I thought we call it E-files now because YouTube is still going to do that.
So we call it the E-files. And Kendrick hasn't said anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
because hey, birds of the same feather, they conjugate with one another.
This is crazy work.
And your homeboy needs subpoena. That predator moving flocks.
I don't know if the Predators moving flocks aged very well for Kendrick Lamar, because recently his agency has been going through it, and also the history of Kendrick Lamar. So Kendrick Lamar has been on this agency called Wasserman. Now Wasserman, he was one of the people that was caught in the Epstein files. So Casey Wasserman, who's also the chairman of the 2028 LA Olympics, had emails corresponding with Ghislaine Maxwell appear in the millions of Epstein files that were recently released. And this goes back to 2003, where he is telling Ghislaine Maxwell, saying, "Where are you? I miss you. I will be in New York City for 4 days starting April 22nd. Can we book that massage now?" So the way that he's moved, this does not look like a business correspondence. Well, maybe a different type of business of the underworld. And then there's another part where he says, "Never, take me. Will you be in New York City when I'm there?" And then G-Max, which is Ghislaine Maxwell, says, all that rubbing, are you sure you can take it? The thought, frankly, is leaving me a little breathless. There are a few spots that apparently drive a man wild. I suppose I could practice them on you, and you could let me know if they work or not. Just for the record, the cigar concept currently has pride of place in my bedroom. And just in case you're curious, I am now in Brazil. Have you been here? And then that's where he says, "Never, take me." And it continues. There's other emails where she says, "What about Max?" And then he's just corresponding with her. But right, like he says, "What foggy enough so that you can flow naked down the beach and no one can see you unless they are close up." So they clearly had some sort of intimate relationship going on. I really don't want to get too much into the details of this, but this is going on. This guy runs this agency, and this, I would say, superstar. Yeah, this superstar artist, Chapel Roan, was the first to come out, and she was managed by this agency, but she would tweet out, "As of today, I'm no longer represented by Wasserman, the talent agency led by Casey Wasserman. I hold my teams to the highest standards and have a duty to protect them as well. No artist, agent, or employee should ever be expected to defend or overlook actions that conflict so deeply with our own moral values. I have deep respect and appreciation for the agents and staff who work tirelessly for their artists, and I refuse to passively stand by. Artists deserve representation that aligns with their values and supports their safety and dignity. This decision reflects my belief that meaningful change in our industry requires accountability and leadership that earns trust."
If you're calling Drake a weirdo, and,
why are you in business with someone associated as a weirdo?
that is not lining up to your principles.
To your morals now.
Yeah, nigga, keep your feelings out the way. Never let no one put smut up on your name.
What are we doing? Is it that we can call out some people and we can't call out people that are close to you?
And then that makes you an hypocrite.
And Drake was talking about it.
They say that karma could take an eternity. Yours is dropping the same night as me.
He was talking about it on this album.
And we've heard some things going on when it comes to the artists that the record label represents now too, and their allegations.
TDE got a case.
The lawsuit got filed by Linda and Aya after Alameda called a meeting with TDE executives to complain about harassment and abuse that Linda, Aya, and herself has been going through at the hands of TDE associates and personnel. people who are supposed to be in position of power over them using that position of power to essentially harass them. During this meeting, Alameda challenged TDE executives to take control and protect women. She would say specifically, you got to understand, if I say something one time and nothing happened, what would be the reason for me saying it over and over? Clearly, I'm not being protected. It's the men that are being protected. Alameda would convey that she had been harassed and violated to no end by several high-profile TDE artists while she was living in a TDE house, and nothing had been done about it. As a matter of fact, the high-profile artists were protected. Alameda reported Isaiah Rashad, one of the most notable names at TDE, and who's also Alameda's biggest source of harassment, the most consistent source of harassment. And she reported him, and they did nothing, right? They didn't do a goddamn thing. They didn't take it seriously. They didn't protect Alameda. They didn't make it stop. Another artist named Artist S in the lawsuit, who many believe is Sir, tried to bust in Alameda's room while she was sleeping. Now, Alameda will state that things like this happened all the time. So one can only imagine why you were busting in, you know, a girl's room that was locked, who didn't want you in there while she was sleeping. Like, I can only imagine what the ill intentions were. But in terms of Isaiah Rashad, she stated that Isaiah, without consent, has sent her a picture of his love muscle and his meat and his penis and videos that were sexual in nature. Now, Isaiah would also offer to pay Alameda's bills if he could watch Alameda give another man head while he watched. Fam, what in the diddler playbook are we talking about here?
They say Top Dog Entertainment got a weird case.
Crazy.
And you're still not talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Now it's radio silence now.
What are we doing? I think the same energy needs to be applied.
Mm-hmm.
If you can wear someone a nasty jacket like that.
Well, you can also wear that jacket too.
To those who are close to you. You gotta like point them out.
Mm-hmm.
If they're moving in flocks.
Just like you said in your music.
And your homeboy needs a peanut. That predator moving flocks.
You gotta pie them out.
Birds of one feather flocks together.
If we're trying to like clean hip hop, you have to not just focus on one person.
Mm-hmm.
Tired of all of y'all telling me niggas is real. Pussy, I know when it's real.
Because it looks like
don't be coming like you're Jesus like now, and then in return you are busy breaking bread with one another. But then again, I guess Jesus Christ also did, but shit.
This is crazy times. And this is really crazy work. So what you guys think about the Drake Iceman, Maid of Honour, and Habibti album? Drop a comment. Let us know if you're giving it a 10, if you're giving it an 8, if you're giving it a 7.
I don't even
giving it a 5.
So here's the thing, honey. Okay, so how do we rate this? Do you want to just rate the Iceman album or the two other albums separately, or the three of them all together?
I think to be fair, we can't say because he dropped 3 albums, we have to now judge all of them together.
No. And the thing about it is that dropping 3 albums in this time space is not everybody's gonna sit down and listen to it, because the younger ones now and people these days, their attention span is very thin.
Facts.
So they could feel a little bit too overwhelmed.
Facts.
With it.
Facts.
So with that being said, we're only judging the Iceman album.
I'm going to judge it 3 because I listened to all of them.
Well, we did listen to all of them.
I don't know what everybody's, whatever anybody's saying, just drop a comment and let us know which one did you listen to, and let us know what you're scoring it. So if I will start, I'll say the Maid of Honour is a good album. I would rate the Maid of Honour was the one he had the party songs.
Smack that ass until it's cheetah print down.
More like he was leaning to the reggaeton.
I like the reggaeton feel. to it. You know, it just gives a little bit of a different vibe associated.
Your body hot, babe. Me turn your back way. Love when you broke me cocky like it is a ashtray.
And I guess we can rate the 3 albums now.
So, Maid of Honour, I'll give Maid of Honour 8 out of 10. Beautiful production.
Hi.
Some bangers are out there. Some good songs are out. Like Bestie is a good song. I like Bestie.
No best friend. Wait. Since when?
It's a good song. And for Habibti, I'll give Habibti a 6.
So I guess overall, I guess he gets an 8. Yeah.
I can put it overall. So I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean overall as the album Maid of Honour, he gets a B. Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he does.
Maid of Honour be a B.
Mm-hmm.
And
He does.
BT will be 6.5. And Iceman, I'll give Iceman
also a B.
A B.
Yeah.
So I'll give Iceman an 8. So Maid of Honour 8, Iceman 8, and
I guess the other one is C.
6.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that? Those score?
I'm perfectly okay with it. He did an amazing work with it. You know, they're not bad albums. They're not
bad at all.
No,
Not bad at all.
My only concern is just the fact that 3 albums in a very short period of time, you can see how it can be overwhelming for people to listen to.
True.
And there's so much going on already.
True. So what do you guys think about the Drake albums? Drop a comment and let us know. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit
this is Drake trying to vindicate himself. There's always 2 sides to a story now.
Yeah.
Run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you're not a colleague, you a fucking colonizer.
Kendrick. It's a terrible.
You cannot say Drake is not like us if he's half black now.
You don't do that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta, tell you about my run. You know what I'm saying?
You don't do that. You don't.
Half black is also black.
It's black.
We all know that.
I don't put up half what's done is done. You know what I'm saying?
Drake is black.
Yep.
He is like us.
Mm-hmm.
So please stop saying not like us.
Yep.
When it comes to Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Understand.
That's the beautiful thing of being black. So many different variations.
Facts.
So many different color. So many different race. So
Facts.
many different mixes.
Facts.
Amazing.
If you're saying your streets, well, streets happens to just be it's part of people's life.
Even the classification of African American as black are still Africans too.
Facts.
So you can't differentiate now.
So Drake is like us. And on that note, we'll see you guys in the next video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and also hype the video. See you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye now.